All right, welcome in everybody to another NC State esports game. Tonight we have NC State Red versus Warner Gold for Overwatch. I am Mega Ninja 44, also known as Eli, and I'm joined by.
Oh, I'm Avinash, North Carolina. You've seen Eli and me on the mic a little bit, so it's probably not a surprise to see us talking together. But I'm excited about some Overwatch. We've had some, how do I put this? Interesting Overwatch games for the
You
past
know,
few
I
weeks.
yeah, that is definitely something that I would describe it as. Um, Overwatch itself has been pretty good. We have a lot of upcoming games that are going to be really high stakes. I know tomorrow we are going against CSU Bobcat. No, not CSU Bobcats. They are BSC Bobcats.
BST
Excuse me.
Bobcats, correct.
And then Saturday is two games, one against ASU, and then one of them is against Grandview. Unfortunately, we will not be able to cast the ASU game because that will be on the official Overwatch Esports Twitch page. So be sure to check that out on Saturday at 3
Little
p.m.
hint, little thing, we might be co-streaming it. So
We
if you
might be
guys if you
co-streaming
guys
it.
just really want to be on the stream, if you guys really want to be on the Esports NC State stream, you'll probably have an opportunity to do it. No big deal. Keep it on the low, keep it on the low. It's this little
Keep it on the
secret between
lokes.
you and me.
Absolutely. But I know that this is NECC, correct?
Yes.
Yes, this is
And
NECC.
I want to add a couple of things about the recent rankings that came out. Shout out to the OWCRA. NC State climbed 3 rankings up from 17 to 14, and Warner University Gold, unfortunately, I think fell off a little. Nope, they're number 19.
They're number 19 currently.
So they are also on the rise and looking for a big upset against this NC
Unless this is
State
a
team.
different Warner, but I don't think it is.
I don't think so. Is there another Warner
I don't
University?
know. I don't think so.
Hang
This
on,
is
hang on, hang on.
NECC? We
Warner
could
Esports.
I don't believe it is. If it's not, then because it does have. Well, actually, wait. I could just check how many points.
Guys, is it their
Um,
is it their B team?
it might be. You know, it's Warner. It's Warner. That's all we got. That's all we know. That's all we got.
Oh my god, guys! I just got a
Um,
friend request from Bunkachunko.
that is really funny. Also, hey, shout out to Cypher right now, dropping a gifted sub. To actually, wow, that's actually so funny. You dropped it to Max, who is the tank player for UNCG. That's actually really funny, actually, because we went to a map 5 against these guys, and they just got knocked out of the playoffs by NC State Red. So that is quite funny. Um,
All right, let's get to the game. I
we are getting
think
to the game. This is NECC, so we have the same map pool. It's not the NACE changes that we had last time. We are getting bans in, but it looks like it's going to be starting out on Lijiang. We have our typical roster. You guys know by now. It's the tried and true. We have Splice on tank, Lobby and Oblivion on the DPS, and Bunkanchunko and Nelix on the supports. We'll probably be running pretty similar comps to what we have been running. We got the Tracer Genji if possible. Maybe Oblivion runs the Echo or the Pharah. Lobby could be running the Cass or the Sojourn. We'll probably see the Kiri Wu Yang, Kiri Lucio combo come out
Lucio
more
is
for
actually
fun.
banned on the first map.
Oh, all right. Well, then that's okay. We're going to see Kiri Wu Yang probably. And then Splice is going to be playing a conglomerate of all the tanks combined because sometimes he does like to play mystery heroes. But,
Mhm.
it does depend on the map. Sometimes on with Lijiang, he will run the Hazard. Sometimes he'll run the Ram. Sometimes if he's feeling it, he'll run the Mauga. So we'll have to see what happens against this team.
Yeah,
We'll
Lijiang,
just
I think the hazard gets a lot of value, especially when Oblivion gets to play Genji. The dive that you get from those two guys is just absolutely ridiculous, and the backlines do not have any fun whatsoever. So that's what I'm looking for. There could be a difference in strategy. Maybe he goes for something a little bit less aggressive. He picks Zarya or something and lets Oblivion play Reaper or even Echo or something like that. So a lot of things that are gonna be found out once we actually get into the lobby. Uh, we're just waiting to get into the lobby.
Yes. We also, I'm going to point out real quickly, this is NECC, not NACE. So that means that it is a best of 5, not a best of 3. So this is going to be the first to 3 maps. I didn't catch the other band. Did
Yeah,
they?
they banned Zarya.
They banned Czar. Okay, cool. Czar. Um, Okay, so they banned Zarya from the side of NC State, so we're not going to be playing the Zarya. You know, I've been playing a lot of Zarya in my ranked games and in my, scrims without telling too much informational. But
You don't want to leak, you know?
yeah, can't leak. But a lot of Zarya has been getting played on my team, so we'll have to see if we want to, change that up a little bit.
Ooh,
For this. I
interesting
mean,
stuff.
obviously, interesting to say the least. Yeah, it looks like Splice is going to be on that Junker Queen to start
Tried and
out.
true.
It is his favorite. It is his starting tank that he, if we were in a Queen meta, he would be the happiest man alive. Lobby going to be on that Sojourn. Nelix going to be using that Juno ring to get out of spawn, a classic that we see out of Nelix all of the time, but going to swap over to the Kiriko, bunk on that Wu Ying, and Oblivion on the Symmetra here. I'm quite interested to
Probably
see.
for the TP.
I don't know if you're using it just for the TP. Oh, all right, yes, we are. Oblivion is going to be going back over to the Genji here.
Come on, you got no ball.
Hammer is going to be on Torb. Seems a little bit redundant, but, it will be happening. We will have the Kiri Wu Ying backline mirror and Ramatra from the side of Warner.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, automatically. Bunka Chunko gets taken out, but Splice is able to get the trade onto Hammer. So that's pretty much an even fight right now, 4v4. You have to wait for your cooldowns to come back. Splice is playing this pillar so close right now, looking at the Ramatra, trying to get a little bit of bleed onto him.
Oh,
and he's going to be taken out from Oblivion. NC State is now going to push his aggression after they get this first cap. Not going to be able to connect the knife, but NC State is going to keep this up. They swap over to the Mei, so no more Torbjorn. And NC State is going to cap this and keep holding up right onto this choke like where they want to play.
Yeah, NC State, whenever they get this first fight and they get this first pick, they always take this little room over here to make sure that it is so difficult for any team to make it all the way out. Flint going down means that it's going to be an easy 5v4 for NC State. Chance should be the next to fall. And Maywell will prevent them from going any further and preventing them from getting staggered any further. It's just masterclass from NC State so far.
Yeah, absolutely. The Mei's going to make it a little bit harder for them to, hold this choke so effectively. And you have to watch out for this Vortex, because if you get stuck in this Vortex, it's not as powerful as that used to be, but you can still get chunked down.
Guys?
A pause comes through. That's a little unfortunate. Don't know who that is on the side of. I mean, I guess we can talk about the ult situation real quickly. The pause is going to be from the NC State side. So might be some technical issues real quick. We can talk about ults real quick. It looks like Lobby and Nelix are going to be coming up onto their ults. Oblivion a little bit behind, but not too far, only 80%. And then the side of Warner, they do have that rush online a little bit faster than Nelix, so that's going to be pretty good. You want to kind of initiate with this rush and pray you can kill Nelix or Lobby before they get their ults out if you are the side of Warner. Chan is so far behind in ult charge, though, so you have to get something done with this rush.
Yeah, it definitely has to be on the Kiriko in order to make the engagement happen. Ram is going to walk in. Nice little Soj E to cut off, and now Splice going down. That is a massive Maywall. Hammer went huge in this fight, and that'll allow Warner to take some space onto the point. And if NC State's able to turn around, it'll be magical, but I don't imagine that it's going to be easy without your tank. Splice is about to make it back. The flip will come through. Lobby with this overclock ready. 2 ults available still, and Flash not far behind for the side of Warner University, but 4 for NC State, and Splice coming up on his as well means that this next fight is going to be very explosive. And kind of split off from his team, and could just go down here. Where was his backline? They were dealing with Oblivion.
They were dealing with Oblivion, who did pop the blade. It was able to kill the Wu Ying, but being to be taken out in the end. But I still think you were taking that. You only popped 1 ult. You popped 2 ults actually from the side of NC State. And Warner has 4 ults coming online, but you have this percentage growing, and you do have this Junker Queen ult, excuse me, that you are going to be able to pop if you so need to. Maybe going to be looking to use it on this backline when you force out this. Oh my God, their backline is so low. Flash is going to be taken out first. Maywall is going to be used to keep Splice outside. He's not going to be able to find anything just then. Going to be looking at this Wu Ying, who's kind of just left it. He's just in this backline, kind of doing whatever he wants right now.
Oh, nice ult.
You get stuck on that. You got into reception, and that's all that matters. The Soj ult gets popped and not going to be able to find anything. And Warner actually didn't pop their Mei ult or their bubble. I don't know. They had the ult advantage. They definitely could have won a fight there if they decided to. But I think, honestly, they use that rush kind of for no reason. I mean, they got the pick on the Splice, and then they decide to rush. They're down their tank already. NC State is obviously going to kite that, so I don't know if you needed to commit that rush. and then you're down in the ult economy, and then you don't actually, use any ults first, even when you do get the cap. So
Yeah, and we didn't really get to see it, but the Dragon Blade from Oblivion actually got a ton of value. Drew 4 players' attention to him, got 1 frag, and it completely split off Chan from the rest of the team, allowing NC State to take a lot more space onto the fight. So really nicely done from one of NC State's star players, Oblivion, in order to make it happen. And now with the swap to Hazard, Splice is going to be given even more agency and even more dive. Oblivion is swapped to Pharah, which is pretty interesting. It's one of the ones that goes really well onto this map, and Spikewall taking down Hammer immediately. Splice will continue to make it happen. Flint goes down as well, and NC State starting off the right way already. Point hasn't even unlocked, and they're already up 2 picks.
that is a really, really quick fight from the side of NC State. Oblivion going to be over on that Pharah, like you said. Gets that boop off the map on the Wu Yang. Chan going to swap over to that D.Va to try to deal with it. I don't know if I love that swap, if you desperately need it. Hammer is going to also go over to mirror the Pharah, so they really want to take care of this Pharah. They think the Pharah is doing way too much. Oblivion needed a kill on the Kiriko, so maybe Oblivion is proving them right now.
This Pharah
like
so far is already a problem. The damage is coming out in spades for Oblivion, but it also feels like there's nowhere for Warner to come out. They have not been able to find any sort of space, any sort of value. Chan will try to burn DM to make it happen, and now look at how far away Chan already is from the rest of the team. NC State is splitting them up so effectively, and it just allows Oblivion to free hit, leading to a frag onto Wed. Chan will be demeched, and it's just a slaughter from NC State.
Yeah, I really do enjoy when my invincible having character and my teleporting character is first picked every single fight from a rocket barrage from the high ground. A little interesting to say the least. I think you have those cooldowns available to you can in fact use them on yourself if you need to. So Wed is getting down and is going to have NC State already having 50% on this point. Oblivion is going to be staying on the high ground. It has this barrage online if so chooses to use it. Except Wed is going to be able to get Oblivion out of the sky, swapped over to the Ana to get that anti-air pressure going through finally. They decided, all right, the Pharah's not enough, the D.Va's not enough, I'll do it myself, and swaps over to the Ana.
They got a flip.
The flip is going to come through from the side of Warner too, so NC State is going to decide to back up here. Looks like they're not going to keep this aggression up too much. They have a couple players in Dojo, and Oblivion is looking for this barrage right here, looking at Wed. Wed is going to be taken off of the map.
Wed is dead.
Oblivion. Flynn is going to be next to fall, and it looks like NC State is going to be able to get this flip back as soon as possible thanks to that rush plus the boop off the map. Hammer gets a kill on Lobby on the way out, but it doesn't really matter at the end. These last 2 peaks from Warner are just going to be late kills.
Yeah, it's beautiful from NC State once again. Wed will be the last casualty. Hammer might get away with his life. If they can manage to stagger him a little bit further, it'll be really, really good for their chances at not allowing another flip onto the point. But with the rain available still for Splice, bubble for Bunkachunko, and the barrage still for Oblivion, Lobby not far off of the overclock as well. NC State not hurting in the ultimate economy. Warner not far behind either. Wed about to come up with Nano, and and 4 other players, or 4 players
Oblivion
will have everything. Oblivion, is he lit? Oh my god.
You can stand there?
You can stand there?
I had no idea. This flank barrage is actually about to go crazy. Lobby gets 2 kills coming through onto Hammer and Flint, and it looks like this Ana is going to be pushed all the way back into spawn. Oblivion gets that kill. This bubble is available.
They turned it! They flipped again!
They flipped again, but I don't think it's going to matter. This bubble's applied to Bunker himself, and he's going to be standing next to this D.Va who's going to be taken out of mech. Not going to be able to have that bomb online. Lobby swaps over to the Widowmaker at the last moment. Barrage is going to come right on the Splice's head, but it's not going to matter. Flash goes down, it's just Hammer left alive, and he doesn't get a touch, and that's going to be NC State taking this 2-0. That's the first map, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful from the Wolfpack. Just the kind of gameplay that you want to see out of a team that is just rising so fast in the realm of collegiate Overwatch. It is beautiful to watch. I think probably the #1 or #2 Glazer of this team in the universe. I don't think there's anyone doing it like me. Other than maybe you, Eli. So
I more criticize than I do glaze a little bit.
Well, you know what? We make a good combination then.
Yeah, exactly. You lift him up, I bring him down just a little bit, but I think that's fine. I think we are gonna have to wait to see what the next map is gonna be and what the first ban is gonna be. It's gonna be Warner's choice, Warner's pick. So don't go anywhere, folks. We are going to go to a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be right into map 2. So don't go anywhere.
Go Pack.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We have map 2. It is going to be King's Row. The ban is going to be Warner. Warner's going to ban the Genji, and NC State is going to retaliate with a Ramatra ban. I think Warner is like, okay, guys, I think we get rid of Oblivion's Genji here. We've neutralized the alpha threat. However, I have seen lobby on the Cassidy on this map, and that's kind of diabolical.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
kind
don't.
of with the Genji van, you're kind of out of the fishnet into the fryer if you're a Warner Gold because one domino goes down, the other one is kind of still standing for NC State. That analogy didn't make any sense, but
That's okay.
you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm picking up what you're stepping in. Yeah, absolutely. And so we are going to see Chan over onto this Diva here. Hammer's going to be on that Tracer. Lobby's going to be on this Widowmaker here. Lobby likes playing this Widow on this first point. Likes taking this, has done some interesting stuff on the Widowmaker on this first point. Depending on what team that they're going against. I've seen him go for quite a wraparound. But it doesn't have much effect sometimes. Oblivion is going to be on that Symmetra probably just for the TP, but maybe going to go over to the maybe the Venture is going to be what Oblivion is going to be playing. Splice is going to be on this Diva here. Splice has been telling me that his Diva is not his strongest character. So it's interesting to see him on that Bunka on the Life Weaver. That is definitely
These
interesting.
guys are testing some things. It seems
I think this is definitely a test comp right now. That's what they were
That
doing.
is why that is so funny. That is
Okay.
unbelievably funny.
I get it now. They were pulling the Widow. I didn't think they were gonna do that. I thought the Widow was just gonna peek the high ground.
Oh, this is really
But
nice.
no, Oblivion is gonna stay onto that Symmetra and gonna teleport to the high ground, getting all 5 of these players up here. This DM is gonna be used from Cham, but not gonna be able to block all too much before they rotate. This Ana's gonna be forced off of this high ground. And so far, NC State has done a really masterful rotation.
They get a full wraparound, and look at where Wet is. They actually could maybe try to dive on the Ana and make it all the way back, but they're just going to stick to the point instead.
Oh,
it was
Hammer
honestly,
going down.
finally, the first pick comes through, and that is a lot found by NC State off of pure movement and rotation.
Yeah, NC State just forcing these supports way out of position with these TPs. Oblivion goes down. Wait a minute, Shannon.
Wait a second,
Oblivion
what happened?
But NC State still has 2 alive. It's just Shan and Hammer left. And Splice has better spawns and his Lucio still alive to keep him up. So it looks like NC State is going to get this. Maybe you just have to get this Diva out of mech. Maybe they have another recontest in them, but it doesn't look like yeah, it's not looking like it's going to be the case. So now Chan is going to go down late into this fight. If you can push up and get these 4 kills, that would honestly be kind of brutal from them. Nice eat on the nade right there, making sure that Oblivion doesn't get, naded right off the rip. Flint's going to be taken down here. And so, Warner's just going to have to do a full back. Yeah, Wed's taken out. And honestly, you're going to lose so much of second point if you're Warner right now because of these late kills.
Okay, well, Hammer is in an interesting spot. He has not been found out just yet by any of these Symmetra turrets.
Oh my god,
Nelix almost saw him. Did they hear the blinks?
Maybe? I don't know.
Oh no, now he's found out.
All
Nice
right,
try, Hammer, nice try.
Yeah, Bunka has definitely spotted the target here. He's got this pulse available. Let's see if he can hit this pulse. Bunka's actually taking quite a lot of damage here, but as he's...
nice
Slice. God, he's such a hungry boy, and he's going to be able to eat that pulse right up like it's his breakfast. And Hammer is going to go down in front of it. The bomb is available. The wall's going to come through here. It's not the greatest wall I've ever seen, but it does a little good job of bapping them back up here. NC State is going to keep up this aggression with that window, and he's going to keep pushing them all the way back to the start of this third point. The nano is applied to the Diva here, going to be diving onto the back line, but the beat is going to be good enough to keep everybody alive. Oblivion has this full charge beam right now. Wet is going to be so incredibly low, no sleep available, and Brigitte forgets that their one job is to keep their Ana alive. This TP is available, but the Mei is shooting at absolutely nothing right now. So this TP is going to come through. The bomb is going to be utilized by... Oh my gosh. And then that's just, it was a little expensive from the side of NC State. You use both your support ults and you do use your wall, excuse me. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You have this DPS, you have this overclock, and you have this bomb available. And Shanna's going to swap over to that Winston. Flash going down with that ult is so bad. That was one of your 2 ults for this next engagement. NC State can keep this aggression, keep these picks coming, especially with Chan jumping in like this. I don't know what he thinks he is. but he is not going to live through the winter if he plays like that much longer. The Immortality Field is forced, and NC State is, you know, just keeping this cart rolling. One person on Bunka is doing so much, and Chan is going to be taken so incredibly low, but going to be able to stay alive for right now. The big rally is going to be forced, but nobody's on the low ground for them to do anything too. So they're just going to be standing there with the shield, doing absolutely nothing. NC State is playing on this high ground perfectly, diving onto this backline. Wed is going to be taken out here, and it looks like it's just a Brig left. The overclock is going to be popped from lobby. The Flash is going to utilize it in return. Not going to be able to find anything just yet because of the DM. However, Bunka is going to be taken out. Hammer's going to go next. Flash is going to be able to kill NECC and Spice and Oblivion and get some trades into their own. It looks like NC State is going to be able to, you know, be held back for right now, but it just matters about where this next kill is coming through. Splice is half HP on the point. Has this DMAC, has this bomb still available. Lobby's going to swap over to the Widowmaker. Chain is jumping into a bunch of sim turrets right now, but it looks like NC State is going to give this up back up just for right now.
Wow. They were toying with them for quite some time. Oblivion still staying on the Symmetra lobby, swapping to Widowmaker. As per usual, we've seen him do it a bajillion times. Already a crit onto Chan. Bunka falls to Hammer early on, so it's not spelling a lot of fun for NC State. And Lobby will actually eat an Icicle, making it a little bit harder for them to take some space. Splice! He's fighting. He's up on the high ground. He's got a teammate with him as well, but these Icicles are just freezing Lobby in place.
Absolutely. Chan is going to jump in here. Only 65 to this Primal Seer, so you're not going to be able to commit too much. The window's going to come through from NECC, but it's going to get walled off. However, Chan is going to be taken out from Splice. You know, Diva is able to play so well into this Winston here. Hammer's going to go next. Wed is going to follow suit. Lobby gets a nice dink onto Flynn, and they don't realize that the Sojourn is right there. No. Gonna maybe try to get a pick, but not gonna be the case. NT. Lobby's just gonna be taking this angle, gonna be teleporting back and forth between.
Dude! Oh my god!
This is so goofy. This is not real. The TP's gonna go down. Lights are gonna be popped from Lobby. Gonna be looking for the shot onto Flash. Not gonna be able to find it. The Nano comes onto the Winston here. Misses another shot onto the Sojourn. And looking like Chan is gonna be able to get the kill on the Lobby, who had that Immortality Field, but decided to leave it to go for the Mega. So it looks like NC State is actually gonna be down one right now. As long as NECC doesn't die, we have the beat available if we want to pop it. Oblivion is half HP, but gonna be taken out from Hammer's right click. Hammer is aiming these Icicles so incredibly well, and NC State is going to respect them and back up right now. They do have this beat online, and Lobby's going to swap back to the Soj. Swap to the Soj. Swap back to the Soj?
Swap back to the Soj. He was on Soj before.
You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
It's late night. It's 8:30.
It's not that late, Eli.
It's 8:30. I'm an old man.
It's 8:30 p.m. and Splice is on the high ground.
Absolutely.
That's a reference that some deep cut knowers will know.
I don't think I know that one, actually.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. And it looks like NC State is going to give up so much space against this Primal, but Flash is going to be going down. The beat is going to be utilized in return. Brig is going to pop their rally. This Primal is trying to get anything done, but not going to be able to do anything because of this beat. Oblivion is going to try to jump in. The Blizzard is down. Hammer going down, and Shan is going to be able to get the kill onto Lobby also. So NC State is going to have to back up, also committing the beat there, but they do have this wall. They do have this window available, and Splice is 70 to this bomb, so you're going to have to... Oh, Splice, you are... What are you...
Oh, he made it out.
I don't know how much longer he's going to be making it out. You know, if there's enough pressure on him, I think he might get demec'd here, especially if he can fly up to that high ground. But I think his team is back in time to, you know, for him to not go down.
Look at how much time Warner has wasted. We're at 50 seconds left. NC State had 5 minutes to cap everything at the beginning of this round. And now it's actually gotten much better. Flash with a huge pick on a Bunka. Overclock doing work. Great little wall, but Hammer still goes down. Does Splice's ultimate as well. Chan will be the last left alive. Blint as well. Will not have anything to say. Push in from NC State. And Wed doesn't even want a piece of it. 25 seconds left on the clock. It took a little bit longer than we expected for NC State, but it still looks good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, NC State definitely wasted a lot of time there with their ult usage and stuff. But, you know, at the end of the day, they get it done. Unfortunately, it's less than a minute. And so that means that they can't force it into a draw or win situation. Where if they capped with more than 2 minutes, then it would have just been over because we are going to be guaranteeing extra rounds unless NC State doesn't cap at all, which would be quite interesting to see.
Yeah.
Warner has to cap. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All Warner has to do is not get full held.
Absolutely. As long as Warner can get it to this third point at all, then it will be going to extra rounds. We will be seeing a pretty similar comp. However, Hammer's going to be on that Reaper.
Yeah.
Pretty similar from the side of NC State. Going to be running that Symmetra with the Sojourn, Akiri Lu, a classic with that Diva. A little, and I don't know if I love the monkey comp right now with how Warner is playing. With this Sojourn, they had the Mei before, so it made a little bit less sense, honestly, that you had that Mei using those walls, but it wasn't really going to be able to do much. However, the right clicks from the Mei were actually doing a lot of damage and had a lot of pressure onto the DPS and Bunka. So, I think the Mei was working out fine, but I don't know how I feel about this Reaper, especially into the Diva. It kind of can just eat everything you have. But we'll just have to see how Warner decides to attack this.
Yeah, I am curious to see if the monkey gets swapped off of. I think they do cut. Oh, wow. NECC, what an early pick. Before we were even live, I was glazing the NC State backline pretty hard, which I think is rightfully so. They are, whoa!
Wait a minute.
As I say that,
Flash
I'm gonna start watching Flash. 2 big picks, one on Oblivion, one on Bunka, means that Warner absolutely not getting full held. Splice will actually get pushed back as well, and NC State forced so far away. Hammer looking good, and flashes of brilliance from him. There we go. Took me a second.
I like that. Yeah, I gotta think of phrases I can say for each. Like, I was thinking for a minute I could go like, okay, Wed just sits inside of Hotel and blows up to Oblivion and a Soji. However, Splice gets taken out of mech and is going to be kind of just sitting alone. 78% cap. Flash is going to be trying to get this follow-up kill. It is able to find it. And it looks like NC State is going to... Lobby gets a kill on the point right now. It's a really back-and-forth engagement.
Oh, Flash is toking so very
much damage. Lobby's going to be able to survive right now. The Anti's able to come onto Lobby. Hammer's going to be taken out right then and there. And somehow I think NC State are going to hold this. I didn't really think it was possible. If they pushed up their aggression, considering NC State didn't have a tank, but, Chan decided not to do it. Didn't think that they had the support for it, especially with their Ana dying like that. But, I mean, the Nano's going to be applied to who? I didn't see. It got applied to the Winston, excuse me, but he was jumping out on the way out. So the Splice D-Mech is going to come through from Hammer, going to be taken incredibly low. Not going to be taken out just yet. And it looks like Oblivion has this wall. If he decides to pop it, Rush is used. Not going to be able to find anything. The wall is used by Oblivion. Oh, Lobby pops the overclock, but dies immediately to Hammer. That's such a bad pick. All you have to do is play this wall, and you don't even have mech to deny anything. So Chan is going to push up, not having...
Oh my god,
wait a minute. Oh my gosh, he almost gets the remech kill onto the Ana. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Going to be almost out of mech yet again. The rally's forced on the side of Walter, but the beat's going to be utilized by Bunka next. The reroll is going to come through. Going to be able to kill Bunka, and Oblivion's going to go down next. Splice is going to get another kill on the Wed. Flash is going to go down to NECC here.
Oh my god!
Flint is able to get Splice. It's just NECC left alive and Lobby, but I think they're going to back up, and they think they're going to give up this point here. After a very long, very drawn-out fight of constant spawns and constant back-and-forth picks, Warner is able to cap first point. 4 minutes left on the clock.
Hammer might go down here. He has very little HP, almost, for Lobby with the 100 charge on the Sode. Right click does so much damage.
So Flashes of Brilliance not going to be like, he's laying the hammer down.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Okay, well, he laid the hammer down on Bunka right there. Gets a kick on him immediately. The Primal comes through onto Lobby. Not going to be able to... actually gets a pick on the Lobby and maybe able to get this Kiriko next. Yeah, Kiriko is going to go down here. And NC State is going to lose this fight a lot more clean than we saw on first point. And they're going to be looking at Oblivion in this backline. Stagger out the baby just a little bit, but this Symmetra is just, behind. So it's going to be a little bit of a stagger on Oblivion. Yeah, Hammer's going to be able to get that kill. And that's a late stagger here. Splice is going to swap over to the...
Oh my god, Lobby.
Oh my god, Lobby gets taken out so low. Splice is going to swap over to the Zarya here. He's going to try to splice his DNA. Is that, yeah.
Not your best work. Not your best
all right.
work.
You know what? I'm workshopping them. I'm trying my best.
We're putting in work today.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna have these bubbles available for whoever is gonna be low. Flash has this overclock. A lot. Oblivion goes down, who was actually really close to that wall. NECC has this rush if he tries to use it. He does in fact use it here, and Flash is gonna be taken out because he is slowed for maybe running on the wall. Nano comes onto the Reaper, who's able to kill Splice.
Oh my god, Lobby.
Oh, Lobby's gonna jump to this high ground here. Not gonna be antied, however, so he's not gonna be able to pop his ult. and it looks like Warner's actually going to cap this point. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left.
God.
Where was this Warner last map?
Warner completely flipping the script on NC State. They have something to prove, something to fight for, and they do not want to be counted out. NC State was looking confident. They're running a comp that they don't normally play. The Symmetra almost getting tested, and Warner is looking clean so far.
Yeah, NC State do have both of those DPS also alive. NECC did pop that rush this last fight. Oh, Lobby is so much pressure coming onto Lobby, but not going to be able to find anything. Hammer pops that Reaper ult, but not going to be able to find anything. You know, it's an average day in the Reaper ult economy. Wet is going to be taking out Oblivion. Oblivion is able to kill a Hammer, however, before going down. I think because of the Reaper ult. However, Splice is able to get the kill on the flash on the high ground somehow. I'm not sure how he got there. But
It's the Symmetra TP. There's the TP.
Oh, the TP. That's correct. That's correct. And it looks like NC State is going to be able to get a foothold going on this point right now. Kind of similar to how we saw Warner do this before. So
yeah.
You know, let's see if they can also be pulling Warner and hold him for 4 minutes, even though they only need to do it for 3.
This last point on King's not easy to push whatsoever. Probably one of the harder ones that's in the entire game. But dive, full dive coming out from the side of Warner. Lobby will find one back onto Wed. Oblivion was the only casualty on the Reaper swap. And NC State will be allowed a second lease on life with this overclock as well. Hammer still going for it. Chan's still alive and well as well. And NC State, they have to be able to hold this. Graviton's third catches 2, and NC State holding strong. Hammer will be the only one left on a nearby straight. Splice will go down to him, but it's still a win for NC State. Chan and Wed will back all the way off.
You know, here's the problem though. NC State kind of utilized a lot of their ults. You know, you're looking at the ult charge here. Splice has 3, Bunka's got 18, Lobby's got 23, Oblivion's got 43. NECC is going to have this rush available, yeah, absolutely. But Warner has this Nano, has this Reaper ult, and has this Primal online. So you have to...
Oh my god.
Nice shot from Lobby onto Flash, but Hammer gets the trade onto NECC, who was their only ultimate. So that's actually going to be a really bad situation now. But you have 1 minute and 30 left on the board if you're the side of Warner here. You need to
honestly
kind of push with this aggression. But they're
Lobby
not
stayed them with that pick. It was so important that he managed to get that pick because it allows NECC time to respawn.
Oh
No, it was
my
a
God.
flank attempt from Lobby, but it doesn't work out at the end of the day. Splice is going to be the last line of defense in NC State. They have to hold. They have to hold here. What can they do? They have to be able to get a touch, and it's the payload approaching so quickly. Die coming out from Hammer, finds 3. Splice will go down as well. Lobby is on the Widowmaker, but there's nothing to do. Warner will get a full cap, 1 minute 34 on the clock. 9 seconds of differential from both teams. Wow.
Yeah, this was, you know, NC State got that time down just like Warner did, but they still have 34 seconds over NC State's on the attack. So NC State is going to attack first now, going to try to get something done. You know, I would be happy. I would be happy if we can see the cap onto first point and a little bit of progress on going into second. I'm not saying we have to complete the whole map in this extra round. You know, that's not really realistic of us. I mean, if it happens, hey, if it happens, you know, we pat ourselves on the back, absolutely. But if we're able to get at least, you know, if we're able to get this first point, then I think we're pretty happy with that. But we are going to see a pretty similar comp come through from NC State. Gonna have, you know...
Oblivion on this Reaper is something that I think is important to point out. The Symmetra had a lot of value, and I want to press tab really quickly. Oh, I saw something. Do you see that? TP's going to come out, but I saw Cass and Tracer hovered for NC State. Splice on this Orisa as well.
What?
What is going on, guys? Can we lock something in? The Zen isn't real, right? The
Zen is
just emoting in spawn, right?
Okay, a very large... Well, I mean, I guess it's not very large. The only thing... Okay, the only things we're swapping here is the Reinhardt, so that's going to be definitely interesting to say the least. I don't really know what we're going to do with that. I guess maybe his perks are good enough that we want to use them in extra rounds.
Yeah, I think it's for this first point. It really allows your team to walk up for free, and it allows you to get onto the point as soon as possible. And with this TP now, Splice is going to be huge. Immortality field, but Lobby going down means that it is not easy for NC State to walk up here. Flash has had such a phenomenal game so far. Incredible amount of impact on the Soj. And NC State back to the drawing board already.
Yeah, I wanted to point out Wed also on that engagement. He lands that anti onto that high ground, allowing Flash to do so much damage and get that kill onto Lobby. So because of that nade, you know, they weren't able to do much. In fact, Lobby gets spawn camped right then and there. Wet is gonna have to drop a little bit. You know, they're doing this thing where they rotate yet again. Spice is gonna be slept.
God.
8 seconds left on the clock here, and NC State is in a very formidable performance right now. However, Spice is able to get the call on the Wed. Mel's gonna go down. Bunka's gonna be next up. Flash is gonna be able to get both of the backliners here. And it looks like NC State is not gonna be able to get a tick here. And this is looking pretty rough, actually. NC State, it's not winnable, right? It's not winnable for NC State anymore.
Holy moly, Flash! This guy is Thanos in this game. Like, he is doing literally everything.
He might be doing it all right now.
He really is.
Initiating match.
So, you know, it's quite interesting to see that NC State decided to go with that Reinhardt there and try to go for that sim shenanigans, which I don't really think you had the time to do, honestly. If you had a minute left, you could have done a play like that, but you really get one fight out of it. And, you know, you lost your fight when Lobby gets picked and then gets spawn camped. So I don't really understand the thought process behind it all too well, but, you know, maybe they'll explain it to me afterwards. NC State going to be playing a pretty similar comp again like we saw, except, well... Okay, I say that, but it's really only the DPS that are going to be the same. Splice is going to be back onto the Zarya there, so they're hoping to get a draw here. That's what NC State is looking for right now. A draw would be quite interesting, to say the least. I don't think we've seen a draw come through.
What does that mean for NECC? Do we just play an extra map?
I think we just play an extra map. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Which is going to be strange.
But Warner,
this could be a best.
They only need one tick.
It would be so funny if this was a best of 6. Somehow this was a best of 6.
We go to map 6. We're here for the whole night.
We're here for the whole night. We go for map 7. I missed my game. You know, it's just, oh, jeez. But it looks like Shen is going to be on this Winston yet again. So we'll have to see how NC State want to hold this here. They're looking like they're going to play pretty close. Chen is going to jump to this high ground. Same with Flash teleporting.
Oh my god,
but Flash is going to be taken out immediately by Oblivion. Hammer is going to be on this Reaper also. But the sleep is going to come through onto Oblivion here.
He has Wraith form.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna make it through the winter, and he's gonna be able to teleport onto this high ground here. Hammer's gonna go down to Bunka, so that's already 30 seconds lost. If you get another pick here, it's actually looking kind of good. Splice gets anti, it's gonna be so incredibly low, gonna be kept up by Bunka, however. And you know, if you're NC State, you need to make sure you don't get picked. If you get picked, it's not the greatest situation to be in right now. Flash is gonna be back, gonna be looking at this main, gonna be looking at Lobby. Lobby's dueling him right now on that Sojourn. You need to get these picks secured on the Sojourn. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for Flash to get an opening pick so you can really aggress hard. But NC State is making sure not to, you know, randomly peek their heads out, make themselves a really easy target. Chain is going to jump on in. Hammer is going to be able to get the kill into Oblivion. That's a huge opening pick. And Splice isn't going to be able to have much to do with these bubbles now that, you know, your Reaper's dead, I guess. You can look for something.
One tick is all you need.
Oh, Hammer is going to be able to go down, and Bunka is going to be so incredibly low. They're going to miss the right click on him, and Chan is actually going to go down because of that. Oblivion, oh my god, actually, if Bunka died there, then it would have been worth it, but because he doesn't, NC State is able to hold this a little bit longer.
Oh my god.
There's no way.
There's actually no way they're holding this.
7 seconds left, 5 seconds left, Flash goes down very
Panda's on Doom.
The Doomfist is going to be popped here.
He made it.
The bubble's going to be applied onto Bunka, who's on this objective here. Oh my gosh, Chan is going to be so alone on this objective, going to be punching out. Overtime is happening right now. The Lobby is so close to this. The overclock. Oblivion, that's such a bad pick. And NC State is going to have to build something here. Lobby is so low, has his overclock. Cannon goes down. That's a huge pick. The Ana is going to be sitting out. No, but Wed is going to be able to get the kill. The Dragon is going to be utilized on the point, but the bubble is going to be applied to Zarya here. We're looking at this Brigand for next. Flynn is going to go down, and NC State is going to be able to draw the map.
God.
This is now a best of 6.
What the hell?
Wow.
What is going on, man?
Our first official draw of the season, I think.
Yeah.
For
this is a first for me. I've never casted this out before.
This ends now.
Oh my god. Wow.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look at the. I'm gonna have to look at the NECC rules. To see what happens now when there is a tie. I believe we just go to a map 6, but I'll have to check. But I think while we check that, while we figure out the next maps, we're gonna send it to a quick break just while we figure this out. What's gonna happen next? I'll be back with all the details, and we'll be back with the next map. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with map 3. All right. We are back with map 3. We just came back from the draw. That was Kings Row. The score is currently 1-0 in NC State's favor. We are going to be going to Gibraltar, Watchpoint Gibraltar, and the ban is going to be Widowmaker and Anna. Widowmaker from the side of Warner and Anna from the side of NCSU. I did want to update everybody about what happens when there is a draw now. So basically what's happening is you go through each of the 4 modes one by one until you get to map 5, and then you can pick any of the modes again. So, you know, at first we did control, and then we did a hybrid, and now we're on escort. So last is gonna be flashpoint, but map 5 can be any of those 4 again. But map 6 is gonna be what's ever remaining after you've made your map 5 choice, if that makes sense. That's a little confusing, I know.
I don't like the way you worded that. It didn't make any sense to me.
It's.
I also have to observe this game, so my focus is not 100% there on what you're saying. But either way,
You know,
we're gonna have a lot more Overwatch to play.
It doesn't matter because we're about to just win 2 straight more maps. You know, giga bangers all around. No bias, of course. But we are going to see Gibraltar come out. The Lucio Kiri from the side of NC State and the Brave Kiri from the side of Warner. Flash going to be on that Sojourn. Yet again, Lobby going to be on that Hanzo. Shan going to be on the Winston and Spice on the Diva. Oblivion going to be on Symmetra, and Hammer going to be on that Torbjorn, which we saw very briefly, but then he swapped off of it pretty quickly when he saw the tides change it away from his favor. Lobby going to swap over to the Cass after the Hanzo. So we are going to be seeing a little bit of an interesting comp here from NC State, not really having any long-range distance, not going to be able to contest the Sojourn as well. Maybe they're just hoping to play this card as best as they can. Hammer's going to be taken incredibly low, but going to have that E available. Oh, he's going to be so low, but he's going to be kept alive thanks to his supports. Whoa, where is Splice going? He's going to be going around the town, and he's going to be taking a look around Watchpoint Gibraltar before meeting up with his team on this objective here. So it looks like they're just going to be trying to play this objective to avoid having to take these long-range duel fights against the Sojourn.
Okay, so we don't have a lot of long-range ability from the side of NC State, but there is an absolute classic on the screen, and that's Lobby on Cass. And the way that they are using these teleports is so much fun, first of all, but Lobby is disgusting on this hero. Absolutely disgusting. Like, he hits every single shot, he hits every single crit, and he pumps out damage like almost no other. So I'm really looking forward to how NC State utilizes Cole Cassidy, Hammer. What a great first pick for the Torque.
Yeah, Oblivion going down is not going to be what you're looking forward to off rip. You know, this Symmetra was really your only means of transportation. Nelk's going to be taken out next, and now we're just staggering Splice here. That's a terrible stagger. But the Torque Turret is actually going to do Splice a favor and take him out of the fight. Lobby's going to go down last, and that's going to be NC State automatically losing this first engagement. Gets the car pretty far, though. Gets it through car wash, so you only need to win pretty much one more fight in order to guarantee this first point.
Yeah, DM doesn't eat the, what's the Soji called?
It eats that. It eats that.
I know, but what is it called?
The orb? I call it orb.
Orb is good enough for me. Either way, it doesn't get eaten, so a lot of damage. NC State forced back a little bit into the choke point. I'm gonna give Bunkafan 900 a little bit of content to watch. On this Lucio, Bunka is excellent. Self-destruct. Popped by Splice just to get a remake in order to make it happen. No explosion needed. It is just the second life for the Diva. And now, rally popped by Brig. Flash still continuing to take over this game. Splice will be standing right in front of him. Overclock is at the ready. Bunka will go down. Sorry to Bunka fan 900. Oblivion will get taken out as well, and the Symmetra continuing to struggle a little bit for NC State.
Yeah, I know that NC State has been trying to run the Symmetra more and more, but it's not looking like it's going to be, you know, going to be able to do that much for the side of NC State. So maybe, you know, you want to swap back over to this Genji, make this Genji work, but Oblivion is going to be taken so low. And go down and Scan again. That's a really bad pick. You need to use this wall and get off of this character. You only have a minute left. NC State's going to have to make this a fuller hold potentially, unless they get something happening in the last minute of this round.
And Flash is cooking, bro. Like, actually, he still has Overclock available, and he's getting first picks like that. It's kind of unbelievable. Now, NC State forced back just a little bit. Deadeye on the ready for the side of Lobby. Oblivion with his shield as well. Splice taken out of the mech already. And NC State forced back again. Splice is going to go down to the storm right here before he even gets a remake. He gets hammered down!
Oh no, the hammer down, the ultimate disrespect. Funk is holding on to this beat for World War III. Not going to be able to utilize it at any point to help his tank at all. Lobby has this high noon available. Maybe we beat with this high noon. The ball is going to come through from Splice. Uh-oh, everybody hide your kids. Lobby's able to get the kill on the hammer. And it looks like NC State is
Lobby.
Oh, Lobby gets another kill on the Wed. Wait a minute. This is looking a little bit more winnable now. You just have to make sure to keep touching this cart. You have the Brig left alive, and you have the Winston left alive. And the Soch is going to be on the high ground right above Lobby. But it looks like this Winston is going to be going in for the recontest. Lobby's going to be holding onto the right side pretty hard, looking at Flash. The beat is going to be able to get...
Oh my god, Lobby!
Out. The Winston Primal is going to be looking really good. The right... Uh-oh, it looks like the ults from Warner are finally coming out, but Lobby looking for a flank here, potentially. Going to be able to look at his Kiriko, and Flynn gets the kill on the Splice, but it's not going to matter, I don't think. As long as you kill this Winston and the Brig, it looks like it's over. Lobby just goes absolutely crazy on the Lobby. It's like it's his name or something, and they're able to cap this first point.
I had to take my hands off of the keyboard watching that. Like, wow! What a monstrous performance from Lobby. Already has his major perk online as well. This guy is so damn good on the cast. He's so efficient. He hits every single crit. He deals damage like no other. And he just enables this team to do so much.
Oh.
Flint is going to go down. I don't even want to take the camera off of him because I don't want to miss another shot. Oh my god!
Dude, kill on the Wed is so drastic here. I really, I do want to shout out Splice real quick. He was able to get that wall in between the Brig and the rest of the team, so they were able to get that pick, allowing that Fury to be so open and so, available. Wow, look at this body block from Splice on this bottom right. He's going to make sure they don't touch this objective and gets a kill on the Flint. So that's going to be the second point pretty quickly, actually. And now it's actually looking like a real fight, or like a real round.
Wow. All it took was Cassidy, Cole Cassidy, and Lobby has he is turning it back onto Flash. Flash had a phenomenal King's Row, absolutely took over the game, but Lobby does not want to be outdone at all. Splice gonna chase out the Winston a little bit, dive onto this monkey, he is very low, will be forced to jump out, shield wall from Symmetra, but Nelux will take out the carry for Warner. Shield back from the pocket of Wed, or from Flint to try to push back Splice, but he's going to be able to stay alive, and Lobby with the Deadeye continuing his reign of terror. Oblivion will come away with 2 frags, and NC State, it almost looks like they didn't even struggle on the first one.
Yeah, NC State making second and third point absolutely monstrous, making up for the disgusting first point that they had. It was quite an ugly showing that we saw out of it. But we are able to have 2 minutes left on the clock for NC State. They are getting the full cap happening, and so now NC State just has to, no matter what happens on that first point, what happens on first point stays on first point. So we don't have to talk about that. And so NC State's going to have to go for I'm trying to go for a good defense here. Maybe a full hold is potential. But we'll have to see what happens here, what they want to play. Maybe you don't play this you don't play the Symmetra all too much on this defense. Maybe that's not something that you want to run. Maybe we see Oblivion on that Genji. Lobby's going to be on the Ashe. That's quite interesting. And Oblivion is back on that Symmetra.
This is interesting. Splice is sticking on the Hazard as well. He doesn't really have a dive buddy with him. It's just a Lucio that can really, move, The rest of them, I guess Nelix would be able to teleport in and maybe try to back something up. But Oblivion... swap to the Tracer. There you go. Now this Hazard Tracer combo is going to be incredibly scary for the side of Warner. Any squishy target that Splice chooses to land on, Oblivion can get there very quickly in one clip. And that's a dead support, a dead Hanzo, a dead Sojourn. Pretty much Chan is going to be the only one able to survive that sort of dive.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of looking at Wed on this Alari here. Alari's not a character that we see all too much of unless it's Bunka on Esperanza. But we are going to see Splice on that Hazard here, so finally going to be making an ending to that story. So we are going to see this Tracer from Oblivion here. Not a really common pick from him.
He's been playing it a lot more lately, especially to enable Lobby on the cast.
God, Splice goes incredibly low, but going to be able to stay alive for right now. Not going to be going down just yet. This Torp turret is doing so much to keep Oblivion from, really committing to going for a kill here. NC State is kind of playing on this above area. This Torp is kind of just walking this objective down, but not going to be able to find anything real quick. I mean, NC State, they do shave off 50 seconds so far. They're looking at this Torbjorn next. Maybe they can get another kill. Maybe, Mario, Splice is getting a little bit of, he's getting some revenge for what happened to him in the last time he was in that small room as a baby diva. He's remembering that dreadful hammer. Chan is going to have to maybe back out here. Splice is going to be trying his best, though. Oh, actually going to be stuck inwards, but the Suzu is good. Going to be able to keep alive. Flash is really low, and so is Flint, but going to be able to stay alive right now. NC State is making a pretty good hold right now. You just have to make sure you don't commit any ults right now, but you don't really have any except for that rush almost online. Oh my gosh, Lobby's hitting some nice shots. Nelix is going to be able to kill Flash, and Bunka's going to use this amp to make sure that Lobby doesn't go down. Hammer is so incredibly low. Oblivion is going to be looking at him really hard. How could that recall forced? And NC State is going to still have this high ground, still make sure that this card isn't pushed all the way through. So it's looking a little bit dire for the side of Warner, even though they do have 2 minutes left. You need to build an ult online. The downpour is going to come through. Going to connect onto 2 people, I think. I can't really tell. Well, Hammer's going to go down. Splice is going to be traded, however. And this Captive Sun is going to be utilized. Going to be looking at anybody in particular. Not going to be able to connect on the ult too much. Bunk is going to pop that beat in return. Lobby's trying to shoot this Illari out of the sky like it's Duck Hunt. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Primal Rage is used from Chan. Gonna be popped backwards. Splice type 6-7 in chat. Chan is able to kill Nelix. And it looks like NC State is gonna have to back up just a little bit. 1:44 left. They did pop that beat, but they do have 3 ults available from the side of NC State, while all they have on the side of Warner is just that rush.
Yeah, I think they should be able to make it back in time. Pulse Bomb was popped by Oblivion just now, but those are a dime a dozen, as we know. Flash is going to be swapping to the Tracer to match this dive composition of NC State. Splice will find the frag onto that DPS hero, and that's a 4v5 already. NC State up a player.
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to give a lot of pride. We've been glazing Lobby a lot this entire fight, this entire map. But honestly, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Splice also for making these really big plays on this hazard. Being able to wall off these engages, being able to pressure out the DPS. He's not feeding as much as he typically does. Well, okay, I almost spoke too soon. He dropped down to a little bit of a low HP there, but he's going to live for right now. And it looks like NC State's going to have 50 seconds left. Hammer's going to go down with that high noon. No ults available from the side of Warner besides that high noon. But, NC State doesn't have any ults either. Wed is going to swap over to the Life Weaver. That is definitely an interesting choice. Wall's going to be utilized. Not going to be taking the Winston in for a ride, but all good. Wed is going to be a little low. Not going to be taken out, though. Forces that TP through onto the Kiriko. Chan is able to kill Lobby. That's actually a pretty bad pick. Bunk is going to be so incredibly low. Oh, Chan is able to get that kill, but Wed is going to be traded out in return. Nelix is going to be so low. Hammer's going to be trying to get onto this high ground here. 18 seconds left. Splice is managing his way over to this Cassidy. Same with that Tracer, but this part, meanwhile, is still getting pushed. Hammer gets the kill into Oblivion here, and now it's just Splice alone. He gets the kill into Flash, but can you make it back to this cart in order to help your team out?
I think he actually will make it back in time. NC State should be around 2 contests. You can see Splice first pick on a hammer is massive. Down for, that is heartbreaking.
Oh my god, NC State don't touch. That's 2 minutes and 30 seconds refresh from the side of Warner. They're going to have to back up here. It was so good. Splice even gets the opening pick on the person in server, but it doesn't matter because nobody touches. The downpour is going to come through. Gets both supports. That's really cool. Unfortunately, you're still in their spawn, so I don't really know.
Oh, you know what? It's actually pretty great.
I like that wall. I like that stop onto that Winston. That was actually pretty impressive to look at, but I mean, so what? You're at their spawn. I guess we're trying to go for a spawn hold here, which I guess is pretty admirable. Flash is going to be having this pulse bomb available, maybe looking for a stick onto maybe Lobby or Splice without that block available. Canada's going to be trying to take this high ground away from Lobby. I'll have to see if he is able to do so. Bunka's going to be staying on this side, making sure that Lobby's kept nice and healthy. NC State is going to be trying their best. Bunka and Nelix are going to be over here. Wow, the P comes through. Lobby gets 2 kills on the hammer and Wed. And you know what? I apologize. Lobby's actually doing a lot. I'm not even kidding. And Bunk is able to get the kill on the Flash, and that's NC State keeping this hold still at their spawn. Has his Bob available. Hammer's going to swap, excuse me. Wed is going to swap back over to the Illari here. Looks like NC State is going to have to maybe back up. Maybe, I say, with the worst voice crack I've ever had in my life. Oh, Splice going down. He heard my voice crack and he just died on the spot.
He was like, I can't deal with that embarrassment.
That was pretty rough. But it looks like NC State is going to have to back up here. You know, only 60 seconds left. This is already looking a lot better than the defense we saw out of Warner for the second point. They do have these ults online. They do have the rush. They do have the primal. But NC State has this Bob, has this rush of their own. The rush is going to be popped first from Flint. Oblivion is going to have that recall force. Pet is going to lose their pylon here, but, you know, no picks off of this rush, really. And the primal is also going to be committed. NC State
There's a lot committed already by the side of Warner, and NC State still with so many resources left. Bob gets dropped by Lobby, and he's going to keep going, keep fighting. Finds one more. Bob goes huge onto Flash, and NECC will find the final pick onto Flinch. NC State team kill, and the rush still up. Splice about to have the downpour as well. NC State is so far ahead in this game. 15 seconds for Warner to make something huge happen, and they do not have the tools to do it.
Yeah, this is looking all but over. You know, you have both of these ultimates available, and they're two pretty strong ults. This rush is going to go on high ground. Looking really hard at this Kiriko. Not going to be able to find any kill. The downpour is going to come through, and both of these supports are like kind of cleared off away from the rest of their team. So Splice is able to get the kill on the hammer, as well as Bunka able to get the kill onto Flash. And now these supports are kind of all alone with nobody left to heal except for this D.Va who's alone on point, taking 5 damage, 5 people at the same time. Hey, Chan gets the kill on the way out, but it's not going to matter all too much, and that's going to be NC State taking us to 2-0. We're going to map 4, folks.
2-0, and we're going to map 4. Monstrous performance from Lobby, especially on the cast in that second, or in the first round. And Splice as well, going huge on the hazard. 26 eliminations, 12k damage. Let's see this play of the game. 1, 2.
I mean, it's kind
I
of...
wanted to cut the 3.
You know, listen, you know, I think that Splice and Lobby played really well that entire time. But we are going to go to a map 4 now. This is match point for NC State. I know it's weird for me to say that. It's a map 4, but we're 2-0. That's just like...
Let's just pretend Kings Row didn't happen. How about that?
We could just do that, I guess. We could just kind of pretend that doesn't happen. And
honestly, though, it was some cinema. I can't lie. I don't even want to forget about it.
Oh, that is true. We don't have to forget about it. But I think while we figure out this next map and get the bans in order, we are going to go to a quick break. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with map 4/3. Go back. Go back. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are going right back in. Apologies for
you don't
going.
Get to see me or Eli's face. Yeah. Sorry.
We're already going into the map. It is going to be a hazard ban from Warner, and then Kiriko ban. Thank you, from the side of NC State. So they're going to be running a little bit of a different composition here. Not going to have that Kiriko online, so we'll probably see the Bap Lucio come through. Wed is on the Moira, so that
don't tell me he's going to stick on that. Please
you know,
there is no universe in which that is the correct play.
I like seeing in the chat that Marquise asks, who wins this map? Going about
Oh, he is playing the match
for watch point. So, you know, okay, little bit of an interesting composition here. Oblivion going to be on that Genji. Splice going to be on that Malga. He's going to be looking for those big feet.
We love big feet here at NC State.
Okay, you know,
I'm sorry. You know I'm sorry.
I can't say that, but you're like, okay, you know, I see how it is.
Hey, you know what? Never mind. We're going to move on.
Okay.
Malga when he does have the big feet, he does actually just completely take over the game. Hammer's going to be on this Genji, matching Oblivion.
Wow.
Bunka going down, Nulux going down as well. It's massive from the start for Warner, but Oblivion's still alive!
Wait a minute.
2 frags for him, and Splice gets 1 as well. What a disgusting fight from both sides. Oblivion will go down to Flash at the end. It'll just be the Malga. He'll slam onto the point, and Flash will not be able to do anything against this guy. What a start for both teams.
Yeah, big Samoan men on point. It's a little difficult for him to dislodge him unless the rest of your team comes back, in which case we'll absolutely see him get dislodged, and Warner is actually going to get the first cap going into this. And NC State, you know, I was a little skeptical about this Moira, but whoa, what is this Lucio doing? Just kind of flying around. Wet is able to get kill onto Oblivion somehow, and okay,
that's why they're picking Moira.
That feet weren't that big, actually. We're able to get the kill onto Chan, and Hammer's going to go down to Lobby, actually. Maybe we get this big feet onto... Yep, we got the big feet onto Flint here, so it looks like NC State is actually going to maybe get a kill onto Wet here. And NC State actually manages to get this flip in all of this chaos.
Okay, I understand it now. I understand it.
I understand it now.
The Moira is perfect against the Genji. It is the entire reason that they are picking this. It is to try to prevent Oblivion from having a crazy game. Unfortunately, many teams have tried harder to counter Oblivion and failed in many ways. And Lobby is still alive. Oblivion doesn't even have to play the game. Lobby will just take over.
He actually just starts up aim labs in the middle of the game and just makes everybody his personal
Oh my god, Wet almost
trainer.
went down.
Wow, Wet almost just got his head blown smooth off. Hammer's gonna be falling next, and Wet is gonna have, you know, both of these support ults are available from the side of Warner if they so choose to, but same with the side of NC State, and they do have this cage available. Chan is a little lacking in terms of ult charge because all he's got to do right now is just, you know, block his arms together and pray to God he doesn't take enough damage to explode. There's the cage gonna come through. Coalescence gonna be used in retaliation along with that beat from Flint. So both support ults are used already, and the window's gonna be popped from Nelix. Oh, Hammer is going to be taken down. Bunka's going to pop the beat in return here. We're looking at Wed next. Wed is going to be taken out, and that's the first cap for the side of NC State. A little expensive of a fight, but I think we're okay with this information and with this knowledge that we are going to be going to the next point, which is, I just realized in Observer it's not actually highlighted. Oh, no, it is highlighted, but it's just like, it's not like you can't see the objective. Like, there's like normally a marker hovering above it. But
wow. A lot of resources burned by NC State. Chan will have his ultimate available. Hammer not far off of his, and Flash will have the Pulse Bomb relatively soon. But NC State, they have one game-changing ultimate, and that is the Dragon Blade. We talked to Oblivion before about how he does Dragon Blades, what he's thinking about. And one of the things that is so challenging about Genji is getting value off of this blade. And so far, he has found a little bit. Hammer will trade back 3 with the Death Blossom. Oblivion still alive onto the Reaper. Wraith Form top for the side of Hammer, and Lobby will get credit for the final frag. And NC State burns an ultimate. Warner burned 2, but NC State wins out and they get the first cap.
Honestly, that might become your new slogan. Oblivion's still alive.
Yeah.
You know,
I swear.
Flash.
Snap.
Kill on the Lobby. That's actually a bad pick from the side of NC State. Oblivion's going to dive in onto this Ana, who's going to be so incredibly low, but Oblivion's actually going to go down here. Wed is not going to be traded out. However, Chan is going to be taken out next. Nelix's Immortality is going to be wasted, but Bunka is going to be blown up, and it's just Nelix and Splice left alive. But, you know, even the big Samoan man with 2 miniguns is not able to survive 3 people shooting him directly into the chest, no matter how many hearts you have. So NC State is going to have to back up here. And they're going to have to regroup, get another setup going, and consider what ults they have and what they want to pop. They do have this cage, they do have this window, and they have this overclock. And Warner doesn't really have anything to counteract this. You know, they're going to be coming up on a lot of ults, but if NC State use their ults fast enough into this fight, then it's not really going to matter. Lobby's looking for a little bit of a flank play here. Chan is going to use that overrun right now, not going to be able to find anything. Oh, Nelix goes down. That's actually a huge pick to get onto Warner, and this cage actually does nothing. You know, Hammer goes down, but Chan is able to break it so quickly. And, you know, now Warner's had time to build these ults up. They're 86 and 84 respectively. And I mean,
Nano as well.
I don't know. Hammer's going to have this ult. I mean, you have 4 ults from the side of Warner here, and Oblivion is just, you know, poking out this Mauga, which if you're a Genji, you don't really want to be doing. Splice gets the run over onto Wed, and Flash actually goes down.
Oh my god.
That's actually huge, and Flint goes down. Wait, what just happened? Wait, Warner has
I missed
so
it
many
completely.
utilized, but somehow they just all fall over like a bunch of dominoes, and NC State just managing to get the flip, and they're going to be able to play so much further up with less ultimates on the table.
Okay, my logic was that I was waiting for Lobby to pop the overclock, and that's going to be the fight maker, and it already is for this one. Flash goes down before the beats even come out, and now Hammer going to be tested.
Wow.
What a shot from Lobby under pressure with the Death Blossom in his face. Does not falter whatsoever, and now the Mauga going to attempt to make it happen, but there's nothing to be found. Flashpoint already goes the way of NC State, and they are 1 point away from turning this into a 3-0, even though we played 4 maps.
Yeah, it's just, again, so weird. You know, wow, Hammer had a personal vendetta against Lobby there, decided to just, you know, wraith in, actually drop the Blossom on his head, not able to find the kill though, however, thanks to the supports of NC State and him having his slide available. Lobby going to be looking at this side fight just a little bit, but Cage is going to come through from Shan, the Blade is going to be coming through, oh, but he's going to actually dash into the trap. Flight's able to get Shan, but Flint's going to be next. Lobby's not going to have this overclock.
Oh my god.
Flash is going to go down with it. And actually, this is quite an expensive fight for Warner. You know, they do win it, but they did pop 2 ults, and they're only halfway to their support ults, while NECC has this window open, and Splice has his Cage online. So you don't really have anything for this Cage.
Yeah, they used a Dragon Blade in the last fight as well, so it's not ideal for NC State, but it is still a pretty winning scenario. Splice getting broken off from the rest of his team. He might go down here. Supports from NC State there to back him up. Cage available. Let's see how he chooses to use it. Drop down onto Flash, and Wed goes down as well. You know, they don't use a single ult other than the window.
They use the window, but you know, you asked how does Mario want to use this Cage, or Splice, how he wants to use this Cage, and I have the answer for you. He's not going to need it. He doesn't need it. Oh, what is this dastardly play? Gonna be looking at this backline here. No, he's not. He just actually forgot. Yeah, object. You know, he forgot that something on his screen cannot exist. He does have this Cage online. That's what we call object permanence, folks. And NC State is going to keep up this aggression, kind of keep up. You know, this Ana is not going to be able to, you know, push up nearly as close as the rest of the team. So the Cage is going to come through, going to be capturing a lot of people here.
Oh my god,
wait, actually a huge nade from the side of Wed. Actually so huge. Hammer is going to be popping that Blossom, going to be able to find Splice. Lobby's going to pop this overclock. Going to be looking at Hammer, who's going to get nanoed here. Chan is going to have... Oh, the beat is going to come through, and Chan is going to go down here. Hammer personally wants Lobby dead by all accounts. 84% charging. Flint has this beat online, and he's the only one that's going to be here. NECC is also on the point, but I don't know. You have this beat. You're going to have to pop it if you want to take this point, like consistently. How... Oh, NECC's going down. Wait a minute. That's bad. That's really bad. NECC's going down, and then they still decide to commit the beat. I don't know. Wait, where is Splice? Splice is so deep in this backline here, gonna be taken out.
This is a rough sequence from NC State.
Yeah.
They got the flip! They got the flip! Oh my god!
I don't think it'll... Wait a minute. I was gonna say I don't think it'll matter, but Oblivion gets a kill on the flank here, and Oblivion's still alive. Wait, Chan goes down. Oblivion has his blade yet.
Turning it!
Wait a minute.
Do not tell me, man.
Wait,
do not tell me. What is that?
What on God's green earth was that fight? Are we serious right now? Are we serious? Genuinely serious? What?
Are we being for real? Are we?
That's
no way, right? Like no way.
This is disgusting.
Like actually ridiculous that they were. I've said many times on the cast that Oblivion is just a monster at turning around fights, at turning around things that shouldn't happen. But that's maybe one of the most egregious fight turnarounds I have seen from the Wolfpack this entire season. That, first of all, the wasted beat from Bunka. NECC goes down early. You have Lobby, Bunka, and Oblivion.
Wasted beat from Flint. Wasted beat from Flint.
Oh, that's okay. That makes a lot more sense. That's a that was an opportunistic fight then from NC State to notice that the beat was gone, and Splice was in no man's land, went down to the whole team, and without a Malga, without a team, without a tank, they still make it out alive.
I mean, wow. Wow,
Wow.
wow, wow. That
Wow.
was an absolute banger of a series. I know it does say 3-0 on the final score. I know this is gonna
Technically, it's 3-1-0.
3-0-1? I
No,
don't
it's
know where
3 I think you put draws in the middle.
you put draws in the middle? Okay, all right. So it's a 3-1-0. But a really exciting despite it being a 3-0-1. But
Let's get an interview. Should we get an interview?
we
Who wants
could
to interview?
we could maybe get an interview going. We could definitely try to go for an interview if we have the potential to. So I think right now, while we try to get an interview going, we are going to throw it to a quick and short break while we figure out who we exactly want to interview. When we get back, hopefully we'll have a player. Otherwise, we'll just kind of do an outro if we can't find anybody. But odds are we'll do an interview with somebody. But for right now, don't go anywhere, folks. We'll have an interview in just a quick moment. All right, welcome in everybody. We have a very special guest with us. We have with us the one and only Bunkachunko. Bunkachunko, welcome in to the stream.
Cinema.
Absolute cinema.
Bunka fan 900, eat your heart out, bro.
Yes, I actually wanted to ask that as your first question. Did you know that you had a fan in the audience today?
No, I'm not aware I had a fan today in the audience. I'm not aware I had 900 to be exact.
Yes,
But
Bunka
He's number 900.
He's number 900.
900 has been in the chat, glazing you throughout. You want to say? Do you want to quickly? You want to say anything to all your fans out there?
Well, I say thank you for supporting me through all my role changes. I think main support is quite an unsung role, kind of doing my job. Not exactly flashy, but I appreciate everyone that supports me.
Oh,
We
beautiful.
love to hear it. How are you feeling about the game today? 3, 1, and 0. What was going through your mind during the draw in Kings Row?
Maybe gotten a little silly at times. I
Huh?
think we're trying out some new stuff. We're getting accustomed to everything. I think the Ana pick caught off guard a little bit, and we were a little thrown off our rocker, but we held strong and we brought it back.
Oh, absolutely. You guys have a really exciting weekend coming up. Tomorrow you guys are
Yes.
going against Bobcats, the number 7 team. Then you guys are going against ASU, the number 8 team, on the main broadcast of Overwatch. And then you guys are going against Grandview for, I think, the grand prize of $2,000 or something like that. And then if you guys win those games, then you guys go against Winthrop, and it's a crazy weekend. What are you thinking going into tomorrow?
It's kind of been a lull in the week so far, just kind of getting ready. We all know it's coming. Our most important matches of the semester, so we're really trying to dial in our mental, get all the silly juice out of us. Only seriousness here. No more playing around. It's not a game anymore. So
This is real
we're
life.
ready to go. Yeah.
Have you
this
ever
is
played
real.
Overwatch with your life on the line?
Exactly, Avi.
Okay, I have one question. I have one more question.
One more.
Do you guys think that you can beat Winthrop?
You know what?
Be honest with me.
Being honest with you, maybe.
Okay, you know what?
You know
take
what?
it maybe.
Looking through my time stone, I there's a chance.
You got a time
There's a
stone. Okay.
wanted something. Everyone has one. I don't know.
Of
we
course.
need to
everybody-
swap you to the Marvel Rivals team.
Maybe.
They need you.
Okay.
Don't actually do that. We want you on Lucio.
No, God, no. Please don't leave Overwatch.
I like the Lucio. I'll stay here.
All right, Nick, any final shout outs that you want to give before we end it off and you get to show your stuff tomorrow as well?
You know what? I want to shout out Bunka Fan 900 again.
We love you,
W,
Bunka Fan
W.
900.
Love you, Bunka fan.
And my
900.
team, playing strong today. And our lovely EB3 space that I'm here at today. Seeing so many Overwatch community members. Really.
We can
My
hear them
heart
in the
grows
background.
larger. Oh.
That's okay.
We love you, NC State University.
Okay. We love
Absolutely.
you, NC State.
That's going to be it for us for tonight. I think that's everything we had on the docket, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
All right. That's going to be everything from NC State. I'm going to check the schedule really quickly. Tomorrow, we're going to be streaming the Overwatch Red match at 8 p.m. versus, who is it? Bobcats?
Bobcats, yes.
And then Valorant Varsity has a match at 9:30. So hopefully we'll be able to cover both of those without any issues. So stay tuned for those. We're going to have a lot of fun. And this weekend, Overwatch Red going to be on the Overwatch Esports mainstream cinema. Don't hold it to me. We're probably going to co-stream the event. So if you guys are just desperate to see some esports at NC State chat, we'll have something for you there. And then another game at 5 p.m. we will be hosting the Overwatch Red team versus Grandview. And finally, Valorant Varsity probably going to happen at the same time at 4 p.m. If we can get a stream, we will. But we're spread kind of thin, so we'll do our best. But thanks everybody for watching so much. It has been a lovely time. I have been Avinash, North Carolina, with Eli Mega Ninja 44, and we're gonna see you guys next time. Eli, do your little outro.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Make sure to drink some water, fix your posture, get some rest, and be sure to tell somebody that you love them. We'll see you guys next time.